NASA has found a planet better than Earth. NASA's Kepler telescope has found a new planet. This is known as Kepler 452b. It is very similar to Earth, but even better. It's 60% larger than Earth, and this means there could be life on the planet. The atmosphere is rocky with volcanoes, and its gravity is twice that of Earth. This means if you went to the planet, then you'd be double as heavy as you are on Earth. As space travel improves, maybe one day we will live on this planet. It's 1,400 light years away from Earth, but some say that one day it could host human life.
Space facts. In about 4.5 billion years, our galaxy and the Andromeda galaxy will collide. Currently, we're flying at each other at 402,000 kilometers every hour. In 2 billion years, it'd have gotten so close that this is what we would see when we look up at the sky at night. And did I mention that our moon is moving 4 centimeters away from us every year? That means that in 50 million years, there's not even going to be enough gravity between the Earth and the moon for the moon to affect our tides. And speaking of gravity, Saturn is actually pulling its rings into its planet. Therefore, in 100 million years, Saturn's not going to have any damn ass rings.
Looks like you lost another one.
Here's what would happen if you spent 30 seconds on the moon without a spacesuit. As soon as you are on the moon, you will have no time to admire the view because there is no air to breathe. However, you will not die instantly. You have about 15 seconds before you pass out. Also, because the moon has no atmosphere, the pressure is super low, causing you to blow up and expand like a blowfish. And while this is happening, do not try to hold your breath because your lungs will burst. Also, because of the moon's conditions, any water in open area will boil. That includes your eyes, skin, and also the saliva boiling off your tongue. If you visit the moon during the day, temperatures reach 260 degrees Fahrenheit. And at night, temperatures drop to as low as negative 280 degrees Fahrenheit. And lastly, do not inhale any moon dust because it will kill you.
Hey, how you doing? These are some space facts that I can guarantee will make you happy that you are here on Earth safe. Did you know that after about a month in space, chunks of your feet start falling off? Not really ideal waking up one morning, your big toes the other side of the fucking room. We found out that there is something outside of the visible universe which are pulling chunks of galaxies towards it. And the best part, we don't know what the fuck it is. Oh yeah, and it's happening to our very own Milky Way. Goodbye. Did you know that technically we're within the sun? Yeah. Now I got your attention! Obviously the sun is relatively far away. Its atmosphere actually extends further than Jupiter and Saturn, which means we are within the atmosphere of the sun, which means times 2, we are the sun. Space travel can actually completely change your DNA. So much so that when a twin returned from outer space, his DNA had changed so much that him and his brother were no longer identical twins. Wow. Water can start a fire in space. I'm sorry, who came up with this shite? Let's make a deal. If you didn't know any of these, you have to share it.
Scary sounds from space. This is what the collision of 2 black holes sounds like. This is what Earth sounds like from outer space. This is what lightning on Jupiter sounds like. This is what the star KIC 76711081b sounds like.
Here's a fun space fact nobody asked for. A little more than 1,000 Earths can fit into Jupiter, and about 1,000 Jupiters can fit into the Sun. meaning the sun is about 1 million times the size of the planet Earth. Now we can take this a step further by adding Sagittarius A, a supermassive black hole at the center of the Milky Way galaxy, into the mix. Now this celestial body is about 31.5 times the size of the sun, which again is 1,000 times the size of Jupiter, which is 1,000 times the size of Earth. Now we can multiply these numbers together and come to the conclusion that the supermassive black hole that this solar system orbits around is approximately 31,500,000 times the size of the planet we're on right now, whose diameter is about 7,917.5 miles. That means the diameter of this black hole comes to the massive number of 249,401,250,000 miles, and it's still not as big as your mom.
Did you know that Uranus actually helped us find a planet? So everybody knows about Uranus. It's big, it's gassy. Turns out scientists knew this too. But while observing it, they also found a wobble in Uranus. So this was back in the early 1800s, and they didn't know anything was beyond Uranus. But after seeing that wobble, they knew that something big behind Uranus had to be influencing it to make it wobble like it was. After closely observing Uranus, they calculated out where something would have to be for it to make such a wobble. And that is how they found Neptune back in 1846. And it was all thanks to a wobble in Uranus. And yes, this is a true story.
This astronaut just spent 197 days on the International Space Station. He has an obvious lack of muscle tone, power, and motor coordination. This is because in the zero-gravity environment of space, you can lose up to 20% of your muscle mass on space flights of 11 days and 1% of your bone mass per month. When astronauts return to Earth after a long flight, they undergo intense physical rehab.